Then we are joined by Erik Kinnman, the CEO of Sprint Bioscience. Welcome, Erik, and please go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here and happy to get this opportunity to present Sprint Bioscience, a very exciting company to you. Sprint Bioscience is about delivering breakthrough oncology drug candidates. I joined as the CEO a couple of months ago, March 1st, and I've been really impressed by what the company has accomplished to date, and I will talk to you about this. This summarizes the main points. It's about delivering value from our oncology drug projects. We have two out-licensed projects with potential revenues of some $470 million in milestones, and on top of that also royalties when there are drugs on the market. In addition to that, in the portfolio there are 3 partnering projects in development. The furthest project in development is in discussions with potential partners. We have the capacity to deliver 1 new preclinical project per year to add to that portfolio. And the reason for this is a very effective organization where we can develop from start, identifying a novel, very commercially attractive target, 4 times faster, attractive, high quality projects that are of interest to potential partners, and at a cost which is 1/4 compared to the industry. We have a de-risked business model where we out-license these programs at the preclinical stage, and that allows us to have multiple projects in our portfolio. And to date, we've delivered some revenues of 123 million Swedish crowns from this portfolio. We have a cash at the end of March of 13.3 million Swedish, a market cap of about 100 million Swedish. This is a summary of our pipeline. Petra-01 is licensed by Hybricell. This company is very focused on cancer treatment, has 3 programs in clinical development, and in our minds, a very suitable partner to take this program further. The first opportunity is leukemia, but there are other cancer types that are suitable for this type of a treatment as well. The mechanism is suppression of tumor growth. This second most advanced program is VPS-34. In this program, we're targeting partners. We are in discussions with several potential partners. This program is intended as treatment for monotherapy of melanoma, for instance, but very interestingly also in combination with checkpoint inhibitors, that is immuno-oncology combinations, in that this treatment activates anti-tumor immune response and facilitates the treatments with these type of drugs. We have also a NASH program out-licensed to LG Chem, and this program reduces fat uptake and inflammation in NASH disease, that is fatty liver disease. We have also VADA, which is a program that we have initiated marketing and discussions with potential partners. This is addressing solid tumors and inactivates DNA repair. And I'll talk a bit more about details around that program in a while as well. DISA is an earlier program approaching the stage where we find it suitable for initiating partnering meetings and partnering discussions, and that will start towards the end of this year. And this is a program which inactivates immune suppression. So we have to date 3 licensing agreements, which we strongly believe validates our pipeline quality. Bayer licensed 1 program for tumor metabolism, and the total value of that was 190 million euros. We got some upfront of 3 million euros, this has been closed down due to target devalidation. The hybrid program is worth in total some $240 million in terms of the milestones, and on top of that, the royalties. So far, we've received some $5 million, and in the LG Chem NASH program, the value of the milestones is some 230 million. We received so far 5.5 million, and on top of that, in this case, also royalties. So a bit more about the Petra program. This is the program then licensed by Hybricell. Hybricell is focused on cancer. They have three projects in clinical development in this area, treating tumor growth and tumor survival. So very much focused in the same area. In addition to that, they are also well established in terms of investors. They have strong investors such as Arch Ventures, Celgene, and Hillhouse. The program has been tried in a leukemia model where we've shown that in the control, the tumor grows rapidly, and in the presence of molecules from the project, there is hardly any growth at all. A bit more about the VPS34 program. This activates anti-tumor response. So what it does is it turns cold tumors that are resistant to immune therapy into hot tumors, which does respond to immunotherapy. And the reason it does that is that by inhibiting the target protein VPS34, the tumor is invaded by immune cells, that is T cells and natural killer cells, allowing for the immune system to become active. And this is also the reason for why checkpoint inhibitors will be more effective in the presence of this type of a treatment. In fact, we've actually shown this in a melanoma model where the inactive treatment, the tumor grows with a checkpoint inhibitor alone. There is suppression of the growth. With a molecule from our project, you have a more effective stop of growth, and the combination is even better. So there's a synergistic effect of the combination treatment. And this opens up a huge market, obviously. The current projected immuno-oncology checkpoint inhibitor market is some 45 billion by 2025. And even so, the benefit is only 13% of the cancer population, and at least 1/3 of the population will not have a benefit from the checkpoint inhibitors just because the tumor cells are smart enough to turn off the immune system. So obviously there's a great opportunity with a compound like from the VPS34 program, which would actually make the tumors hot and addressable by immuno-oncology treatment. The malignant melanoma market by itself is has an addressable market projected 2028 of some close to $8 billion. And as said, in for this project, we are in discussions with potential partners. The VADA program addresses another mechanism where tumor cells actually can utilize cells' ability to actually repair DNA. As I'm sure you're aware of, DNA may be faulty in tumor cells. By repairing the DNA through a DNA damage response, which tumor cells can turn on through this target protein VRK1, cells can actually divide and the tumors can grow. By inhibiting VRK1, the DNA damage actually sort of worsens, and you get the same type of effect as you want to get by radiation therapy and chemotherapy. And by doing this, the cells can't divide, the tumor cells that is, and this is a quite selective mechanism as well. And you activate also the immune system. So for this type of a program or project, there is the possibility also to combine with immune oncology treatment, radiation therapy and chemotherapy as well. And the market potential is huge, looking at solid tumors, which have a total market projected to some $425 billion US by 2027. And looking at some of the cancer types within this group that we've done in our preclinical experiments, colon cancer has a market size of 18.5 billion by 2023, and pancreatic cancer some 3.5 2025. And we are marketing this program currently to potential partners. So DISA program is a bit earlier program. Again, we're looking at the immune response for tumors. Tumor cells through this target protein actually can suppress the immune system, so the immune system doesn't recognize that these are tumor cells rather than ordinary cells. By turning off this protein, the immune system gets activated and recognize the tumor cells and actually fight the cancer. And also in this project, there's the potential to combine with immune oncology, radiation, and chemotherapy as well, addressing various types of solid tumors. The goal is making to start marketing this to a partner by Q4 2021. The NASH program then out-licensed to LG Chem. NASH is fatty liver, and there are different stages of fatty liver, as I'm sure you're aware of. Due to our lifestyle and eating habits, our current eating habits, we have a prevalence of fatty liver of about 25%, and that is actually without any involvement of alcohol. So we have an increased fat uptake and an inflammation that follows that, leading to fibrosis and then cirrhosis and liver cancer. And this is becoming a more common disease. NASH, which is when you have fibrosis as well, is some 3 to 5% of the population, and a huge market size with no approved drugs at this stage. The program has shown to limit the fatty uptake and inflammation in models of this disease, and is currently undergoing further preclinical experiments before deciding to move this into clinical development. So a couple of words about our business model then. The company is focused on the early stage of development. We are well equipped to discover early, very interesting novel target proteins through our very broad academic and industry network. And this allows us to identify very interesting novel targets that are both scientifically validated, have a medical need, and a very high commercial potential, in that these are of great interest to potential partners. By modeling the target proteins and using fragment-based drug design, we can very rapidly then develop lead drug candidates and validate those in terms of the mechanism of action, and then start out-licensing. And once out-licensed, we receive upfront payments and then milestone payments throughout drug development, and then royalties on the market, with no remaining resource needs or costs from our side, just the upside, whereas the partner will then fully finance and resource the program throughout development and commercialization. So this leads, as our portfolio is expanding with the current programs, and then having those who are not out-licensed, licensed, and then adding new programs to a huge potential upside of revenue streams. So in summary, we have the potential of delivering value through our oncology drug projects. We have 2 out-licensed projects with potential revenues of, in total, $470 million US, and on top of that, royalties once there are drugs on the market. We have 3 partnering projects in development. The most advanced one, we have current ongoing discussions with potential partners. And we have 1 new preclinical project per year capacity, adding to the programs that are already in the portfolio. And we can do that through our very effective process and understanding of the potential in novel targets, and developing then molecules that address those targets 4 times faster and at a cost that is 1/4 of the industry average as well. So we have currently a very de-risked business model, and the business model allows us to have multiple shots at goal in actually delivering very attractive upsides and in the milestones and then royalties, and so far has delivered revenue streams of 123 million Swedish crowns. So with that, I thank you very much for your attention.
Well, thank you so much, Erik. And we have a couple of questions for you just to round off. First of all, you talked about your business model here, and it does differ a bit from what we usually see in smaller drug development companies. Just to summarize, what is it that makes it so attractive in comparison to other models, in your opinion?
Yes, no, that's a very good question, and this is something that, of course, is very important for us to create an understanding within the investment community. We have the ability to very rapidly identify highly interesting novel targets, and we can do that through our network, through our academic network, our network within the industry. And we provide limited investments to actually, from our process, deliver very high quality early stages of first-in-class, potentially first-in-class new oncology drugs. Gaining access to a very significant upside without any remaining costs. So to put it simply, we can, with limited investments, create a multiple shots on goal portfolio within perhaps the hottest disease area that's out there in the industry, given that looking forward, most of us will die of a cancer disease rather than a cardiovascular disease, as it used to be in the past, as we are much better in treating those type of treatments currently.
And then could you tell us a little bit about how you go from the idea to getting a product that you could license out?
Yeah, another good question. Obviously, we have this very well-developed network. We spend a lot of time screening the academic literature as well, and have good academic contacts. And we look at a number of interesting targets and can very rapidly either identify them as targets which we can develop quickly, high quality molecules that address these targets, or actually stop developing them. And through our through our pharma company network, we can also determine whether these are attractive to them from a medical need perspective, and also from a commercial attractiveness perspective as well. So with that, we have high quality molecules that we believe there is great interest, and we, through the interactions with the potential industry partners as well, we can also do the right type of experiments and validations, making the programs even more attractive to the potential partners.
Well, finally then, what do you see as the most important activities for this year?
For Sprint Bioscience, obviously it is continuing to make sure that we have the optimal financing of the company. I would add to that also communication. This is one example of an important communication from the company, building an understanding of our business model, what we're trying to accomplish, the possibility of actually delivering value from the portfolio that is both maturing and expanding. And I would say, as a third point, to actually deliver upon the opportunities in terms of the out-licensed programs, as well as those that are approaching licensing agreements as well.
Well, it sounds like you have an exciting year ahead of you, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you.